I better have something different on this list this year. You hear me? I'm not kidding around. I'm not doing it. I am not kidding. There better be something different on here. Do you know what the best health insurance plans are in Ohio for 2016? Well, hey, stick around because that's what we're doing today. How's it going, everybody? I'm Joey Giangola with Giangola Insurance, and this is probably my favorite thing to make all year. It's the annual best of list for health insurance plans, and this is the 2016 version. Now, if you've been playing along at home the last couple years, you may have noticed that the list has been a little repetitive and also a little lonely, mainly only featuring plans from one insurance company. That insurance company is MedMutual. Well, I'm finally happy to rejoice and do a little dance and celebrate that we can actually put officially another company on this list this year. So we're gonna get just freaking crazy right now and have a list of not just one, but two insurance companies. So let's do it. So the first plan on the list is gonna start off with a bit of a sour note, but it's MedMutual's MedMutual 4000 HSA. Now this plan is replacing MedMutual's popular, or as I like to call it, sweet spot HSA plan, and it was the 3000 Silver from last year, and it only made it 1 year, unfortunately. It wasn't here in 2014, they introduced it in 2015, and now 2016 has come and it is gone, and now we are stuck with the 4000 8000 plan instead. So what that means is that you're going to have a $4,000 individual deductible. If you have a family, meaning 2 or more people, it's going to be 8. After you meet that deductible, you're going to have 0% coinsurance, basically meaning your out-of-pocket maximum is that deductible, either 4 or 8,000 for the family. However, one of the biggest changes MedMutual made from 2015 to 2016 is that their deductibles are now embedded as opposed to being aggregate, which in fancy insurance speak, all that means is that now they are split between more than one person in the family. So if you're just a single person, there's not a whole lot of good news here for you. You're just gonna have $1,000 more in deductible. However, if you have a family, meaning 2 or more people on your plan, now instead of paying the full $8,000, you're going to have the option to pay 2 $4,000 deductibles. So if there's only one person hogging up all of the deductible in your family, that means you're gonna be able to cut that total limit in half. You're really gonna be able to pay a lot less out over the course of the year because of that now. The one nice thing about this plan is that it was able to remain a silver plan, which means if you qualify for any cost sharing subsidies, then this deductible will lower. The benefits of this plan will adjust according to how you fall on that scale. So that means you could potentially turn this $4,000 deductible all the way down to like a $500 deductible. It's pretty crazy. But just a quick note that the plan will actually not be an HSA at the lowest 2 levels because it will fall below the minimum standards to actually qualify for an HSA. But it does start there, and it just might not actually end up being officially an HSA when you're done. But it really doesn't matter because if you are there and you have that plan, it's gonna be the best health insurance deal on the face of the planet, period. And next up on the list is the big brother to the 4000 HSA, and we're going back to MedMutual, and this is their MedMutual 6000 HSA plan, or otherwise it's a bronze plan, the other one's a silver. So here again, as the name implies, your deductible for a single person is going to be $6,000, and normally you're going to double that for a family. So again, 2 or more people, it's gonna go to $12,000. You have 0% coinsurance after that, meaning that's all you're going to pay for that plan. And of course, these deductibles are also embedded as well. But as much as this is the plan that we love to hate and really hate to love in most cases, this is the plan that is going to be your kind of catastrophic fallback. Like this is the bottom of the barrel, cheapest alternative available to you. At least the cheapest alternative that I would probably feel comfortable recommending anyways. But before you go ahead and put your foot in your mouth and say something that you really can't take back, you're gonna wanna sit down and make sure you do the math to figure out exactly how scary this $6,000 or this $12,000 deductible is, because my guess is if you do, you're gonna find out that the money that you're spending, or in this case, saving on your health insurance, is gonna make a whole lot more sense or make you feel a lot better about this thing once you actually sit down and take the time to figure it out. And I don't wanna get ahead of myself, but at the end of the video, I will tell you how I can actually help you do that. But we'll definitely get to that in a second, so hold on. The biggest thing you can keep in mind when considering this plan is if you are currently not meeting your existing deductible and it's much lower, then chances are you're probably wasting money there anyways, because if you're not meeting your $3,000 deductible or your $4,000 deductible, then it really doesn't matter, because if it's 4, if it's 12, it doesn't matter, outside of just the fact that you potentially obviously could pay that amount of money. Really, when it comes to the deductible, the only time that you really want to be over your deductible or meet it is when you go in excess of a couple $1,000s over. I'm talking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 beyond the deductible, because that is the money the insurance company is going to pay for you on your behalf for those covered services. If not, if you're just getting to that deductible, you've let the insurance company win big time. And next on the list, we finally get to move into InHealth plans, and their first showing on this list is their 2016 Silver 1 plan. So this plan is going to come with a $2,250 single deductible and a $4,500 family deductible. You're gonna have 30% coinsurance after you meet that deductible, and you're going to have an out-of-pocket maximum of $6,750 for a single and $13,500 for a family. And yes, like we talked about with Medical Mutual, these deductibles are also embedded, and this seems to be a change most insurance companies are making here in 2016. This plan here is going to serve as your best value kind of classic copay plan that you may be familiar with a previous employer or something. This is definitely one area where InHealth stood above the competition last year, and that was their ability to offer copay plans that had these specific copays for doctors and prescription medication that sometimes Medical Mutual was lacking. And I don't see any reason why they're not going to continue to build on that momentum from last year. If you find yourself taking 1, 2, 3 or more medications a month that are brand name, then this is where this plan might become a serious option for you. This plan strikes a pretty decent balance between deductible, copays, and price. It kind of sits in the middle there to kind of catch all of the different areas that are going to be important when you're making your decision. And next up on the list, staying with InHealth, we have the InHealth 2016 Gold 1 plan. Again, so simple, I have a hard time. This plan is the exact same version of the DC 2020-80 plan that was around last year. They just renamed it and obviously gave it a much simpler name. But this plan is going to have a $2,000 single deductible, $4,000 for the family. And after that, you're going to have 80/20 coinsurance. So you're gonna see that's obviously a 10% difference from the silver plan. And then your total out of pocket is going to be $3,500 for a single and $7,000 for the family. If you really just wanted to step up one level in the classic copay option, this is going to be it. As you can see, the out-of-pocket maximums are a lot lower, the coinsurance is lower, and the deductibles are also lower as well. So everything's gonna be lower, but when you lower things in health insurance, the price goes up. So that means you're going to really have to think about it and consider if that extra price is going to be worth the benefits that you're kind of lowering as well. Coming back to the if you really need it, and if you're not meeting your deductible, you're kind of wasting money argument. And don't worry, we're gonna get to all that in a minute. And the final plan on this year's 2016 list is wrapping things up with InHealth. It is their 2016 Gold 3 HSA. This plan is going to have a $2,250 deductible for a single person or a $4,500 deductible for a family. Now note here, this is the only plan in InHealth's kind of portfolio this year that is going to have that aggregate deductible, meaning they won't split it between two people. So it's very important to keep in mind. But because they're so low, it really kind of balances out. And again, it's going to be 0% coinsurance after that. So once you hit those numbers, that's it. So I didn't mention it before, but the reason InHealth Mutual is able to make such a strong showing on this list this year is that because they are finally able to offer a network of doctors and hospitals that is able to stand side by side with Medical Mutuals, and in some cases surpass it. If you didn't see our complete head-to-head breakdown of both of these companies, well, feel free, go ahead, click right here as you can see what each company has to offer and how they stack up to one another. So go ahead, click right here if you want to see InHealth versus Medical Mutual. But basically this Gold 3 HSA is going to be the top of the line health savings account plan that you could ask for this year. Medical Mutual has gradually phased out their Gold HSA plan, and now this is really going to be one of your only remaining options if you want a lower deductible HSA. Now where this might come in handy is if you do, again, back to the total cost of what you're looking to spend on your medical treatment in a course of a year, if your costs well exceed these deductibles, then this is where it might be worth your time and money to buy down to one of these lower deductibles and have the insurance company pick up $3, $4, $5, $6, $7,000 after you max out these deductibles. Again, it's just going to be a matter of how much does this plan cost in relation to that, and where do all the numbers kind of fall out. So the question that we've been asking every year now is, well, where is everybody else still? Well, the answer to that question is I don't know. Companies like Anthem, Aetna, Humana, CareSource, Molina, SummaCare, they all have decided that they would much rather limit your ability to see a majority of doctors and hospitals in your specific region of the state than allow you the option of complete choice like MedMutual and InHealth have. And to top it all off, they're actually doing it and charging you more money for it in most cases. Now, some of the lower cost providers that are traditionally just HMO providers like Molina, CareSource, HealthSpan, they might actually come out on top a little bit of winning the price war, but what you're giving up and sacrificing for doctors and hospitals, my opinion, it's a scary proposition. Of course, it is important to note that rates do vary pretty significantly from county to county even in the state, so it's possible that you might find yourself as being one of the exceptions to the rule, but that's just on pricing alone. That doesn't even take into account, again, the doctors and hospitals that we've been talking about, and that's going to be a really serious conversation you're going to have with yourself, is if it's actually worth saving that money, because you'll be surprised at how little it actually is in most cases. So what's the bottom line? Well, as I said at the beginning of this video, I really can't express fully how excited I am to actually have another company to talk about and say that, listen, this is a company that is almost side by side with MedMutual. So that is great. First of all, a little bit of progress there. It is still a little disappointing that we don't have more companies on this list, but maybe soon enough. Really, at the end of the day, there's a pretty good chance that one of these plans from InHealth and MedMutual are going to find its way into being the best option for you in 2016. But again, it's also important to remember that this list was just kind of created to highlight the best possible all-around options for you. If you want to get more specific, well, we can definitely help you with that right now. So what's the next step? The next step here, if you want to be sure and find out if you are an exception or not and actually put this list to the test for yourself, go ahead, click right here on my face, or there is a link below in the video's description, but we're actually going to help you compare these plans and see, again, one, how they stack up to your specific situation, and really actually kind of prove and do that math for you that we were talking about throughout this list to see which one, whether it's the InHealth HSA 3 or if it's the MedMutual HSA 4000, we're going to figure out which one comes to the top for you. So again, click on my face to do that, and let's get started. So, but again, as always, I do appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. I do greatly appreciate it. And of course, as always, I am Joey Giangola with Giangola Insurance. Take it easy, everybody. And if you find yourself taking 1, 2, 3, or even more, but quick little note that so what's the next step then? The next step is to actually put this list to the test for yourself and to see how these plans